tradition at all, because once again, if they were, they would not have a mobile abortion unit at the DNC right now. They would not have this massive push for transgenders. They would not have a massive push for mutilating children who don't even have their brain developed enough to know what, if they like cartoons more than fiction, like, but yet they want them to decide if they should have men or boy or girl genitalia. So I don't know where we're going with that. All I know is at this time in my life, the thought of voting Democrats, it makes absolutely no sense to me. I am not going to, and people won't agree with this part, I'm not going to say that if you are a Democrat, you're a horrible person. I'm going to say that you're an uneducated, ignorant person, that you refuse to open your eyes and ears and see and hear exactly what the left actually stands for, because it's easier to keep your head in the sand, and it's easier to do what you've always done, which is vote Democrat. It's easier to do that than to say you've been wrong, you've made a mistake, or you're seeing things differently, because nobody wants to admit that they've been wrong. Guess what? I was wrong. I have no problem admitting I was wrong. I was wrong in the beginning. I was one of the ones who said that Donald Trump was a sexist, racist pig and whatever else. And now I'm like, oh, no, I got brainwashed. I was part of that psyop that was being pushed, and I fell for it. That makes me the dumbass, not Donald Trump, right? So I think that people need to get out of their own feelings when it comes to how they vote. They need to get out of their feelings about how their friends and family vote, and they need to really open their eyes and ears and understand what your vote means for the country. Not just so you can go and get one of those stupid ass little "I voted" stickers. I can make one of those on my computer and print it out. Who cares? It comes down to, are you doing what's right for the country, for your family, or are you doing what's popular because you think that's the way to go? Anyway, I know that was a high horse there, and I apologize for that a little bit, but not too much. Let's see, let me get back to where we were, because there's so much going on. Where was I? People who continue to vote Democrats are brainwashed and confused, and I agree 100% with that. Sherry Holder, I love all your hard work, and thank you for your opinions. Thank you, Sherry. Cheryl, sorry, I messed up your name, Cheryl. I appreciate you immensely. Thank you very, very much. Let's see. Vote policy, not vibes. Bambi says vote policy, not vibes. That is so true, because we had a video a couple days ago where somebody was out on like the San Diego or in San Fran or somewhere, and they were interviewing people that were voting for Kamala and asking them, and this guy was like, oh, because she's a vibe. Bro, that is not a reason to vote somebody. She's a vibe. That will never make sense to me, that that's the way people are, and that instead of voting for policies, they're voting because they want a woman in the White House. I don't want a woman in the White House. I'm a woman, and I don't want a woman in the White House. I've said it before. Unless she has gone through full-on menopause and completely done with everything hormonal, don't get in the White House. I've met me. When I have PMS, you do not want to be in my way. Heaven forbid you put me in front of another world leader while I have PMS. We're going to get nuked. And I feel the same way about any woman they try to put in the White House right now. I hate to say it. Even Tulsi Gabbard. Even... that's about all I got. Hillary, definitely not. But any woman they want to put in there, one, you're going to have a very hard time with other countries around the world who will not take a woman seriously, who believe women are objects and should have no place in anything political, right? So you're going to have issues immediately there. Two, again, the hormones, it's a real thing. It's not something that's made up. It's not some whatever. It's a legit thing. Women's brain chemistry changes during their periods and during menopause, and that's not something we need on the main world stage, okay? So, I mean, I'm girl power all day long, just, I'm putting a little baby stop to it when it comes to the top seat of the country, under 60 years old. That's what I'm saying. All right, let's go back to where we were. Where were we? There's more. Please hold. I have more. I'm going to let you go at some point, I promise. It's only been like an hour. Okay, so this is from Insurrection Barbie. Not only is all of Chicago boarded up right now, which we talked about earlier, not only is all of Chicago boarded horizontal, and it wouldn't do it, so hold on one second. See if I can get this to work. Oh, no, wait. YouTube doing extremely stupid YouTube things. Hold on. Don't go anywhere, people. So this is where we are with the jacked up screen because YouTube refused to let it start the correct way. Can you guys hear me? Can you see everything, even though they jacked it all up? Whatever. Heaven forbid they let it go the way it's supposed to. And I know why, because they don't want us talking about everything that's going on right now. That's exactly what the problem is, because they don't want the truth of what's happening in Chicago coming out. But you know what? It is what it is. As long as you guys can hear me, everybody's here, then we'll work with it. The camera, look, I don't even know where to look anymore because the camera's all the way up there. So let's figure this out. You never know what's going to happen on a live stream. Okay. So today is officially the first day of the Chicago DNC, or the DNC in Chicago, whatever you want to call it. It goes from today, the 19th, through the 22nd, and it is already a flaming pile of shit, just so we're all fully aware. Let me just go ahead and start off with the very first thing I want to tell you. So last night, before anything even started, because technically today is day one, right? Yesterday they were busy putting up fences, putting up blockades, and getting extra police out there, police on bicycles. There might be some horses running around, I don't know. They have National Guard has been called in at this point because of the 100,000 protesters that were expected to show up for today, and they started showing up yesterday. It has just been absolute chaos in Chicago already, and it hasn't even started yet. And one of the first things that happened, there was a physical altercation to kick off at the DNC convention floor between Kamala Harris's biggest supporter, which you would think would be her husband, but it's some random dude, and a Chicago local that he insulted on social media yesterday. So this guy, Roland Martin, called Jamal Green all types of names on his show for criticizing Kamala Harris. And when Jamal Green went to confront him, they said he folded quicker than a dry cleaner. This is a prime example of what a keyboard warrior looks like. Don't insult a man on the internet if you can't say the same thing to his face. But I want you guys to see the video. Excuse me, I can't really play the audio. There we go. So here's the video of these two Kamala Harris, one a supporter and one a detractor, I guess, getting into some altercation on the DNC floor before anything ever started, because keyboard warriors will troll all day long. That's how they work. That's how they roll. Outside of that, y'all, it's the next 3 days are going to be, technically they said it goes through Thursday. So yeah, Monday through Thursday. The next 4 days are going to be history, because Kamala's little steps leading up to the DNC says, let's make history. And they're going to make history in Chicago. I don't think it's the way they expected it to be made, but history is definitely being made. They have an 18-foot tall IUD inflatable, not waving around. I picture those little things at car dealerships, but they have an 18-foot IUD outside the DNC next to their abortion cart, so that people on their way in to, cheer for Kamala, they can have an abortion if you're a lady, or you can get your vasectomy done if you're a dude before you go in and cheer on Kamala for the greatness and the great things she's going to do for this country. Y'all hear the sarcasm, hopefully there. Let me take a look over in this live stream real fast. Let's see. Better get the fire department ready to see. CJack242 says, I live in MN is Minnesota, right? Lived in Illinois. Chicago is in for some trouble. They have a firearms ban in Chicago. Always have. So much for the gun bans reducing violence. Oh yeah, no, the only people now who are going to have the guns to have the violence are going to be the criminals, not the, legal or law-abiding citizens to protect themselves. So that's always fun. All right, let's go here. I got more. Wait, hold on. Okay. Wait. Okay, so there's no rhyme or reason to anything that I have here. I want to give you a heads up. This will not be a short live stream, number one. There will be adult language, number two. If you can't handle it, now's the time to jump out. If you are a Kamala Harris supporter or a proud Democrat, this is not the live stream for you, boo-boo. And nothing's in order, because that's how my squirrel brain works. You're going to get everything in whatever order I want to give it to you, so be prepared for a little hopping around, okay? So I came across this, and there's a thing called uncensored AI, not just regular AI, which if you go on like ChatGPT and other AI things like that, a lot of times it is biased, even though it's not supposed to be, right? But there's an uncensored AI, okay? And it reveals Kamala Harris's strength through joy, which we talked about this in yesterday's video, how the word joy is being tagged with everything Kamala Harris related, because they're trying to do this psyop, basically, that if you think of the word joy, you think of Kamala Harris and her laughter and her smile and everything else, and joy for the world and whatever else. Hey, wait, hold on. R. Heath, I live in Chicago. There's no firearms ban. Oh, good. I'm glad y'all have concealed carry permits. Good to know. And also thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you immensely. But that is good to know that there's no ban on firearms, because I thought there was in Chicago a ban on firearms. I know a lot of places have tried to take away from the citizens so they couldn't defend themselves. And And for some reason, I thought Chicago was one of them. So thank you for clarifying that for me and everybody else. And let me jump back to this joy, Kamala Harris joy thing, right? They have it so that when you hear the word joy, you are supposed to, again, think positive things for Kamala Harris. But let's just do a little baby deep dive into where that strength through joy, one of her mottos, has come from. And it may surprise a lot of people. Maybe it won't, who knows. But the campaign of strength through joy originated from Nazi Germany. Maybe why there is such a big issue right now with pro-Palestinian protesters and Hamas and Israel and everything when it comes to Kamala Harris and that whole pile of, just cauldron of shit. So according to this, it was a major initiative of the regime during the 1930s and the 40s. The primary aim of the campaign was to improve the morale and well-being of the German populace by promoting various recreational, cultural, and educational activities. Now, let's just take a step over here into 2024 for a minute, and recreational, cultural, and educational activities. Kamala Harris is big on pushing trans rights, LGBTQIA plus rights, which, what I have an issue with the transgender thing because they're pushing it on children. If you're in your 50s, 60s, and you've lived your life and you decide you want to play dress up for the rest of your life, that's you, boo. Do your thing. But it's when they're aiming it at the children that I will literally raise arms over that. So you have Kamala Harris trying to do recreational, cultural, and educational activities. Everything that she has been doing, the places she has been, she's the first vice president to be in a gay pride parade. She is the vice president of the Indian people or the black people or the Pacific Asian people, depending on which genre she needs to get the votes from. This is very telling. So the rest of this says the Strength Through Joy campaign was overseen by the German Labor Front and designed to foster a sense of unity, camaraderie, and national pride among the German people. Let's just go ahead and every time we say German people, switch it out for LGBTQIA, right? Or Indian or black or South Asian, but it's not United States citizens, which is, I think, a very interesting aspect here. Even illegal immigrants, because she believes that if you cross the border illegally, you're not a criminal. You're just, I don't know what she considers you, but if you do something illegal, you're a criminal, FYI. It says it included programs such as affordable vacations, concerts, theaters, sports events, and educational opportunities. Although the campaign appeared to focus on leisure and recreation, it was essentially a propaganda tool used by the Nazi regime to shape public opinion and promote support for its political agenda and future nefarious plans. Bro, if that is not literally the definition of what Kamala Harris and her little group of cronies are working on right now, I don't know what is. Literally, the push for everything the left has been doing lately fits into this strength through joy Nazi regime kind of thing. And it is terrifying when you step back and look at the fact that history is literally repeating itself just towards different demographics. It's kind of crazy. All right, so hold on, let me go over here into the thing and see what's happening in the live stream. She's buying votes. Yes, she is. I wouldn't be surprised if they try and say the protesters there are trying to support her and twist the story around. I can see them doing this, yes, because mainstream media lies through their teeth on a daily basis. Let's see what else we got. Making do, great. Okay, let's go back over to where we were. Hold on, I got so many things here. 1, 2, 3. I literally have like 15 different things to show you guys. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Okay, I gotta show you this. So this here, I checked to make sure this was not AI before I show you anything. I try to make sure nothing is false, nothing is inaccurate, nothing is made up, nothing is just, because there's a lot of AI altered videos out there and I would hate to bring you guys anything that's not real. So I've tried very hard to make sure all of this is accurate. And when I show you this video of Kamala, I just want you to fully understand. I need you to fully understand. This was, I don't know if this was before or after her little sit down meet and greet cringy little thing she did with Tim Walz, but this here lets you know. Y'all, hold on, pause. This woman was friggin' hammered. I don't care what anybody says. I am a 42-year-old woman who has been drunk numerous times in my life. I have no problem with the fact that my husband and I will have drinks every once in a while. We've done things with friends, gone out to eat, gone to concerts, gone to whatever, and had drinks. And yes, I have been drunk. That's a thing. It's not a big deal. unless you do it too often, and then it's a problem, and then you gotta be real careful. But as somebody who knows what it feels like to be drunk and knows what it is like to be around drunk people, Kamala Harris is friggin' toasted in this video, and I want to show you this. Let me turn the volume up. Wait, what is happening there? That's another video. Hold on. That's what happens when you have too many tabs open. Okay, here's Kamala, and I need you, again, fully understand this woman is fucking toasted.
Okay, so just 1 minute. Okay. Close yourself.
Can y'all hear her?
Maybe chop up a little thyme. And then you can mix it even with, okay, so do the salt and pepper all over, just lather that baby up, right? Because on the outside, in the cavity.
She's talking about like a chicken or a turkey.
You can also chop up, but not with the thyme, just the salt and pepper.
Mm-hmm.
Mix that up also with some thyme. You can even do a little rosemary under the skin with some butter.
I don't know. I don't want to keep going, but generally watching her, just all the movements and the extraness, the fact she can't keep her knees together, number one, and the movements and the eyes and everything else, to me, she's a little toasty over there. She's a little toasted when she's having this conversation, and I think I can't even say that it's funny, because this is the person they're trying to make the president of the United States. It's not funny watching her go through whatever it is that she's going through, because if they put her in place, what is that going to mean for our country? Like, you have got to stop and think about what that's going to mean for our country if she can't even stay, excuse me, hiccup, so meetings and events in order to get people to vote for her. Once she's in the White House, she doesn't really have to do anything except for drink and who knows what else. All I know is that I don't trust the woman. I tell you that much right now. All right, let me get back over here. There's so much. Hold on. I'm trying to keep it all make sense. All right, so my little note that I put here with this is she's holding a dick and balls. You'll understand once you watch it. Trust me, you'll understand once you watch it. But oh, that's me. Hold on. Stop. Why are there so many tabs open with volume? Quit it. Listen. All right, let's try this again. Okay, so this is a video from yesterday or the day before. And law enforcement officials have revealed a suspicion of Harris being drunk on the campaign trail, and they have said that this one that she was in I think this was Pennsylvania, they said if she had been about to get into a vehicle or she was going to have to drive anywhere, they would have had to arrest her for driving under the influence. Like, that's what they are saying in Pennsylvania right now because of how far gone she is. But I need you to hear what she says here. Stop, because it makes absolutely no sense. And I've realized that the more she drinks, the more she's up here with her hands and doing all kinds of weird stuff. She's like Will Ferrell in Talladega Nights, where he's like, I don't know what to do with my hands, and he's just here. That's her. I've realized this. Okay, when she doesn't have a podium to hold on to. But listen to this. All right, you ready? Let's see if this will play correctly.
When we think about the strength of our democracy, I think that there's a duality to the nature of democracy. When it's intact, it's so strong in terms of what it does.
That's dick and balls right there.
Uphold and protect individual rights and freedoms. So strong in its nature. And it's very fragile. It will only be as strong as our willingness to fight.
I don't know how people out there take her seriously. I feel badly for her. I feel badly for her. I feel badly for the people who have been brainwashed into thinking that she is at all capable of running our country. Listen, I'm pretty sure I did not send this to myself, but either way, we'll go ahead and talk about it. When Joe Biden decided that he was going to run for a second term, I don't know if you guys remember how many headlines came out about how he needs to look for a different VP. She has the lowest rating of vice presidents, like in the history of vice presidents, from what I read. I don't know if there's proof of that. I agree with it. I've been alive for numerous vice presidents, and I think she sucks the most, besides when Joe Biden was the vice president. So so many headlines came out when he said he was going to rerun for president again, and they were like, you need a new VP. Kamala Harris has done nothing. She is dead weight in the White House. You need to get rid of her. And then suddenly Kamala Harris is the best thing ever and she should be president. Please understand that we are being, and I've said it 10,000 times, punked. We're being played. None of this makes any sense. It's literally the puppet masters pulling strings and moving things around and trying to get exactly what they want. And what they want is obviously to keep Democrats in power, in office. You have Barack Obama and Michelle Obama coming to speak at the DNC. The hell for? What do they have to do with Kamala? They've been out. Why are they there? They don't need to be there for any reason whatsoever, and yet they are. A lot of people feel like Barack Obama is still in the background, holding the purse, pulling the strings, doing everything else. In the beginning, when Nancy Pelosi had Biden booted out off the ticket, a lot of people were saying that it was because Barack Obama wanted him off the ballot for this presidential election and wanted Kamala Harris on there, and now he's Kamala Harris's handler. We've even talked about it over here. Now there's new stuff coming out saying that in the beginning, Barack Obama did not want Kamala Harris on the ticket. He did not like her for the presidential option, but because that is the only way they could keep the money, he backed it, and now he is basically her handler, the one parroting what she should say. And there's plenty of pictures of them out hugging and little cheek kissing and hand holding. I wonder if Michelle Obama knows about how close they are, but I think it's very interesting that we are where we are, where we as the citizens of the United States are taught from a young age that our vote matters, our voice matters. And here we are right now in this point in history, watching our voices and our votes not matter in the least. Because again, nobody voted Kamala Harris in a primary to even be where she is. She debated nobody on the Democrat side to be on the ticket. The only reason she's on the ticket is because of the money. They literally said, I'm sure there's like constitutional things we're supposed to abide by here and like some laws and some legality, but we're going to scoot it under the rug and hope nobody notices and throw her on the ticket anyway, because we really hate to let that $80 million that's being held up right now go to waste. We really want that money. And you may ask yourself, well, what do they need that money for? Oh, I don't know, maybe for abortions and vasectomies at the DNC and for a wall. Which is funny because the Democrats were the first one to say that if you need to build a wall, you're racist, as they now build a wall to keep out pro-Palestinians from getting to them at the DNC. So Democrats are racist. Just want to make sure we fully understand where we're at right now. Let's see here. I need to close all these out or else all the volume is going to go everywhere. Let's try this again. I wish there was a way to keep the live chat up on my computer, but then I can hear me talking and I want to show you guys stuff and I can't do that. All right, let's see. What do we got going? First off, or second off, or 18th off, thank you guys for being here. I appreciate you immensely for showing up for this, because you can't make any of this stuff up. You can't even make any of this stuff up, and it's absolutely ridiculous to me. So this is from Greg Price on X, and it says, wait, hold on, I missed something. See, look, this is what happens when I can't look at the screen. Please hold. Wait 1 second. What just happened in the live chat? I saw some stuff. YouTube doing YouTube things. Rob and Ann, thank you very much. I appreciate you immensely. Sarah, what are you saying over here? Check out Michelle's husband. Oh yeah, Kevin, my husband has a channel too. All right, let's get back to where we were. I'm trying not to get sidetracked, but it's almost impossible for me. Ergo squirrel. Where was I? Okay, so Greg Price on X, he put up this video. It says the DNC hasn't even started yet, and Palestine freaks are walking around Chicago with a banner that says "Killer Kamala." This is going to be a wild week. They really were. They were out late last night with their banners and thousands upon thousands of protesters just out in the streets of Chicago. So Chicago businesses had to close down. People were told they could not come into work. So not only are the Democrats about to get screwed on Wednesday when the new employment reports come out that show that they inflated their numbers by almost 1 million and all kinds of crazy hectic stuff there. We'll get to that later. But now they are making it so hardworking, bill-paying Americans can't go to work because they've brought the DNC to Chicago. No matter what city they had gone to, it was going to affect the citizens of that city, the businesses of that city. And I think that all this money that Kamala has been handed by these morons who wanted to give her money should be making payments to every single person in Chicago that had to stay home from work, that had to close their business, that is being harassed by any of these protesters, by the National Guard should get paid extra for having to come in. The police that are having to do extra work should get paid extra. The fire department should get paid extra. But no, instead, spending the money on abortions. I'm glad we're putting money where money doesn't belong. So there's that. Davila gang, thank you very much. Keep it up. That's the plan. That's the plan. Listen, I will run my mouth on this for hours. So don't feel obligated to stay. You can always leave, come back, whatever. But this will take a minute because there is a lot. And this, again, is just from last night. I don't have anything from this morning. I was like, nope, because then we'll be here for 17 hours. So this is all from last night. Then later on today, I'll put stuff together from today and we'll do that. And then tomorrow, and it's going to continue on because there's just too much. Which is crazy. The RNC, the Republican National Convention, did not have this level of circus, chaos, freakiness, whatever. And it really does show you the difference between the right and the left. And I know everybody says, two feathers, same bird, one bird, two feathers, whatever the friggin' saying is. I never get it right. And I agree. It's all, the middle is still the ones holding everything and pulling the strings. But the right wing, the wing on the right side of the bird, not nearly as chaotic and more moralless or lack of morals as the wing on the left side of the bird, just so we're all fully aware. Look, yeah, I gotta get extra comfortable. So the Department of Defense has now stepped in and they're like, hey, we feel that there may be a biochemical hazard in Chicago in the next couple of days because of the DNC. So we should get prepared and make ourselves, what do they call it? Decontamination rooms at Rush University Hospital. Explain to me again why you would want to be a Democrat or go to the DNC or have anything to do with any of this. Again, the RNC didn't need decontamination rooms. So I just want to point that out to you. The Department of Defense is getting ready for potential biochemical attacks at the upcoming DNC. Local and federal officials are on high alert for potential biochemical attacks. In preparation, the Department of Defense has funded the setup of decontamination rooms at Rush University Hospital. The Department of Defense. The Department of Defense, y'all. The DNC, the Democrats not even paying for it themselves. Taxpayer money. Taxpayer money is paying for decontamination rooms because they expect biochemical hazards and attacks in Chicago. And again, this is something that is real. It is on the news and there is all kinds of stuff going. Not that the news is real, y'all know what I mean, but this is receipts. This is physical proof of what is happening and that they are setting up at Rush University for these possible attacks. I don't understand. I think I'd be even more pissed off if I did understand. If I did understand how the left thought and what they are hoping to accomplish here, I feel like maybe I would need a straitjacket because this is not something that most sane, logical people could understand or should understand. I'm going to read what Edward says here. The fact that DNC had to put up walls and have mobile abortion clinics, and now the department, DSSOS, is going to put up second rooms would be enough to make anyone walk away. You would think. First, they've tried monkeypox, which we can't call it monkeypox anymore. It's Mpox, right? Just new name. But if you look at, okay, I don't have all the information in front of me. I'm going to try not to butcher this. I have way too much shit in my head right now. Mpox is, if you look at it, what they're trying to tell us here that it is looks suspiciously like shingles, okay? Not the same as what's in Africa, which is definitely different and more blisters. What they're showing us here in the US, what they want us to think that Mpox looks like shingles. And if you look at the, oh, YouTube is going to just completely demonetize the crap out of me. If you look at the reports, I have to figure out how to phrase these things. If you look at the reports and the paperwork and the facts that have come out about certain things that people had to take, were forced to take, some willingly took over the last couple of years, you will see that in the side effects of these things are autoimmune diseases and disorders, and then they start to give information that sounds suspiciously like this Mpox thing, but now they want us to think it's like actual Mpox as opposed to side effects from the thing they made everybody do. Just putting it out there like that. What does it say? William D., you're awesome. Been following for a while. Keep up the fight and have a coffee on me. Sir, I appreciate you immensely. Thank you very much. Again, I love y'all for being here. Thank you for being here and having this conversation. And I would love to get into the live stream and read everything. And I can't right this second because there's too much. But I do plan on reading all of it later. Somebody asked me yesterday. No, actually, somebody was an asshole yesterday and made the comment under a video. And they go, well, you obviously don't read the comments. Yo, I read every single comment, just so you're all fully aware. Like, I spend a ton of time reading the comments and replying to as many people as I can, replying to emails and Instagram DMs and on X, on Patreon, on absolutely everywhere, because you guys are, I consider you legit like a family, more family than friends, because obviously we think alike, we have the same desires and wants and needs for our country, for our families and everything else, or else we wouldn't be here together. So I try my hardest to do as much as humanly possible, but then you do have to remember I am a wife and a mother, and I do have to take care of my family on top of everything else. So that's that. Let me get back to where we were. Please hold. There's so much going on, so much going on. What's happening over here? Nope, got it. Okay, so the next one here, my little note says, there's a difference between to serve and protect and whatever the hell clown show this is that has been brought on by the DNC. I don't even remember what link this is, but let's figure this out. Chicago, an idea of how many police officers are currently downtown marching alongside protesters in an attempt to keep the peace as the sun goes down. So this was last night, okay? The yellow police officers, there's other police officers. They have pulled hundreds, if not thousands of police officers from around the way to be in Chicago, to keep the protesters in line, to keep Kamala safe, whatever else, to keep the abortion truck safe. And these men and women should be out there protecting and serving their actual community from normal everyday things, not from protesters who have shown up to wreak havoc on the city, not from people who may pick up a brick from the pallets of bricks that are just sitting around the city. Again, we've seen this happen before. Not to have to protect the businesses from looters and rioters and angry mobs of people. This is just yesterday. After this, there were more police that came in, bicycle police, a 5-mile radius around Chicago. They have put up a 5-mile radius of police officers like on bicycles or whatever. So they're like the impenetrable wall. Remember when you were little, you'd play Red Rover, I think it was called? Red Rover, some blah, blah, right over. And you'd have a chain of friends holding hands, and somebody from the other side would have to run and try to break through that chain. And if they did, then they got to take one of you back to their team. But if they didn't, then they were part of your team. This feels like a really weird version of Red Rover. But the fact that these men and women are having to put their lives at risk for this, to me, it's stupid. And I understand people are going to be like, well, they signed up as police officers and firefighters and everything else and National Guard for these reasons. But still, it feels like something that could have been avoided. The DNC, I mean, the Democrats are stupid, but they're not, I mean, maybe they are that stupid, but they had to know, they knew ahead of time that this was going to turn into an absolute chaotic shit show. And they still decided to go along with it. They still decided to bring in an abortion truck, which, I have this for later, but I need to say it right now. These people who are walking around with pro-Palestinian flags and gays for Palestine, lesbians for Palestine, women for Palestine, they don't understand what happens in areas like that. They would be immediately not okay if they were in that living situation and gay or lesbian or transgender or whatever else. And again, this is a lot of the left side brainwashing people into jumping on whatever cause they're pushing at the moment without having any idea of what they're jumping on. And now it's actually starting to backfire because they're turning on each other. The left is turning on each other. They're eating their own foot, basically, is how it works. But I don't think that the police should have to deal with this. If the DNC wants to have this whole thing, they should have had to deal with it themselves without bringing in extra men and women to keep them safe. The RNC didn't need all that extra stuff. And that was after the assassination attempt on Donald Trump. He didn't put up walls. He didn't put up barricades. He didn't bring in, the National Guard and all this other stuff for his protection. And somebody literally tried to shoot him in the head. So anyway, this is the one. Oh, this is the one I was looking for. Hold on. So I don't know what she says. I don't know if I can play what she says. We're going to play what she says anyway. Hold on. If I can get this to where it needs to be. Please hold. Please pause. Volume up. I don't know what she says. I didn't listen to it. I just watched this dumbass with a mask on run up on stage. But this is what happened. Pro-Palestine protesters ruined the DNC 2024 welcome party by crashing the stage during the introduction. Talvish, I love you too. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. All right, listen. Watch. Look. Yeah. So here's the thing. If she wasn't ashamed of what she was doing, if she wasn't whatever, she wouldn't be wearing a mask at this point. At this point, if you have a mask on, it's because you know that you are doing something stupid and wrong and you don't want people to see who you are. That's all anyway. So that moron ran up on stage. Pretty sure she probably got arrested. What's this next one here? So much has been happening. What is this? Oh, yes. So in Chicago, my husband and my daughter and I went to Chicago last summer. Yes, last summer. And we went and saw the Bean, the big whatever, right before they closed it down for something. But we went and saw it while it was open, took pictures, walked around downtown Chicago. And Chicago itself, like the structures, the buildings, absolutely friggin' gorgeous. The river, really pretty. We went to Navy Pier, and Navy Pier was really neat. They have restaurants, and there was people out on jet skis out in the water. You got to watch the boats go by. You could see the city skyline, and it was really pretty. And everybody we came across in Chicago was really, really nice. We had a lot of people telling us before we went that it was like the murder capital of the U.S. and be careful, you're gonna die, and there's a bunch of homeless people. And sure enough, there were a bunch of homeless people, and there was probably a shot or two that rang out at some point while we were there. But we actually really enjoyed the city of Chicago. Like I said, it was very pretty. The people that worked there, that would live there, were really nice. We were in downtown, where it's going to be a little safer, generally speaking, because that's where more of the money is. But we went to Navy Pier, and it was absolutely gorgeous. Well, I see this breaking. Palestinian youth and allies disrupt DNC delegate party, mobilized to rally. Aon Grand Ballroom, Navy Pier. So the Navy Pier is where they ended up starting a lot of this stuff. If you guys look, I'm going to show you right here, this top one there, that is outside the Navy Pier. And you can see you've already got protesters and police officers out there. And it's like, if you're protesting Kamala Harris, why are you at the Navy Pier? Guess where she's not? The Navy Pier. She's at the center, whatever, wherever she's at. Why are you there disrupting that business? Like, the protesting to me is getting out of control. I understand there has been peaceful protests throughout history. This to me is not a peaceful protest. When you are stopping business, when you are causing harm, when you are causing destruction, that's not a peaceful protest. You might be heard, but you're being heard in the completely wrong direction, and nobody is jumping on board with what you're doing because you're hurting the American people in the process. So that's that. Anyway. Okay, hold on. There's more. Wait, that's that. This is this. So much. Y'all, what's happening over in the live stream? Hold on. Let's go back over here. Again, today, when everything kicks off and Biden walks out to talk, I'm not expecting it to go over well. I'm trying to get to where I'm at. Sorry, I can't focus and talk at the same time sometimes. Biden's supposed to speak today, and I have more information with him. I've got to get to it, but I fully expect things to go very left in the sense or whatever today when Joe Biden gets up to speak, when he passes the torch to Kamala Harris. Because again, we're going to get to it in a second, but I fully believe that the passing of the torch is going to be what we all hoped would not happen. I personally believe that Biden will step down from acting president and hand it to Kamala. Now, here's two things that could happen with that. One, if he hands it to Kamala, right, she would automatically be acting president until January 20th. I feel like if he makes her acting president, more people will open their eyes because they will see over the next 2 months that she is absolute trash. Like, there's nothing good there. August, September, October, November, 3 months. That there's nothing good there. And maybe it will pull some votes away from her. And in theory, if they were going about things legally, she wouldn't get enough votes to become president on November 5th, right? That's one thought process. The other thought process, they make her president and she destroys everything before November 5th even kicks in, and then we're still screwed, and she still becomes president somehow, and then we've got Kamala Harris. Like, I don't know if this is their way of sneaking her in to the presidency or what's going to happen, but based off of what has just come out from information this morning about Joe Biden and plenty of impeachment issues, his family, according to reports that have come out, his family took $27 million from foreign entities over the last few years. It's very impeachable stuff. Between that and what was the other thing? There's something else. Oh, and the lying with the unemployment rate and the numbers, the money numbers and everything else. I feel, this is just me, again, I don't have any proof of what my opinion is on this, but my opinion, my feeling, my thought process is when they said Joe Biden's going to pass the torch to Kamala, I said it yesterday before all this came out, I said, I don't like the way they phrase that. That sounds like he's literally handing his presidency to her, not anything else. His presidency is the torch that he's passing on. And after everything came out this morning with the impeachment possibilities and the grounds for impeachment, I am worried that is exactly what's going to happen. So I just want to bring that to your attention. I'm not voting. I don't like either choice. April says, I'm not voting. I don't like either choice. Now listen, April, listen. I used to think that if you could not make up your mind, don't do anything. But I feel like that hurts everybody in the long run. And I know people say, well, the lesser of two evils, but what if you pick the wrong lesser? What if you pick the wrong evil? What if whatever? I still think that if you don't make your voice heard, that's even louder than actually voting, because then it shows the people in charge that they can
control you.
They can basically alienate people enough not to vote, which then helps them in the long run with the votes that they do want. I hope that makes sense the way I'm trying to phrase it. But I think everybody needs to vote no matter what. And you have to think about it. Vote for the people you wouldn't be ashamed to sit around and have a conversation with, people that you wouldn't have an issue bringing home to mom and dad, people you would want to call friends, people that wouldn't scare you. Like, and I know that sounds really stupid to say it that way, but you have to think of it in that aspect as well. But you also need to look at the policies, like the actual policies of what each person is bringing to the table. We don't know what Kamala Harris is bringing, except for really bad things. She wants to be go horizontal and it wouldn't do it, so hold on.
One's an alcoholic and the other one's a pedophile. You figure out which one it is. Look real close. One's an alcoholic and the other one's a pedophile. Remember to vote November 4th. The early balloting starts in September. If you got any kind of common sense, pull the Republican ticket, Trump 2024. I don't like all Republicans neither, but I go with who keeps money in my pocket and what makes common sense. Okay.
1 second. See if I can get this to work. Oh, no, wait. YouTube doing extremely stupid YouTube things. Hold on. Don't go anywhere, people. So this is where we are with the jacked up screen because YouTube refused to let it start the correct way. Can you guys hear me? Can you see everything even though they've jacked it all up? Whatever. Heaven forbid they let it go the way it's supposed to. And I know why, because they don't want us talking about everything that's going on right now. That's exactly what the problem is, because they don't want the truth of what's happening in Chicago coming out. But you know what? It is what it is. As long as you guys can hear me, everybody's here, then we'll work with it. The camera, look, I don't even know where to look anymore because the camera's all the way up there. So let's figure this out You never know what's going to happen on a live stream. Okay. So today is officially the first day of the Chicago DNC.
I say it again. One of them is an alcoholic, and the other one is a pedophile. Okay. If you remember the movie The House of Cards, the lead actor for The House of Cards was charged with pedophilia, and he left the country. The same guy that charged him with pedophilia was a minor at the time. Is the same guy that's charging the potential vice president with pedophilia. So, there's some freakiness going on. I heard there's a blow up of a uterus in Chicago at the convention center, at the Democratic National Convention. There's a blow up uterus. They are giving out vasectomies and free abortions. If that shit is not the weirdest thing for your vote I've ever seen in my life, and the fact that Kamala's lying, everything she's promising to do, no one seems to realize that she can do it now. And by her not doing it now tells you she's telling you a lie. But there's some stupid people in this world. Are you one? This is your boy Doug, 60 Gang. You guys have a blessed day. And I'm